Siminalayi Fubara's personality can be understood through his leadership style and public personality. These values are evident in his governance, where he promotes responsible management of state's resources and reduces corruption. Good morning to you, our dearest viewers, and welcome to today's edition of Non-Streaming Morning Show on ACNNTV. I am Princess Clement, your anchor for today's program. And as usual, I'm not alone in the studio. With me this morning is my co-anchor, Bulu.
Good morning, viewers. I am Bulu Atife Adiboye, and I'm glad to be here this morning on the show.
All right, thank you very much. You're welcome. It's always a delight to have you on the show, Bulu. We also have with us our guest for today, Canon Fuchobili Onyeche Jonathan. You're welcome to the studio. Don't forget, viewers, to call in using the phone number on your screen to share your thoughts or send your comments on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Your thoughts are valuable. Before we go into the discussion segment for today's program, let's take a look at some trending stories on the front pages of our national daily newspaper. Bolo, I will start with you.
All right, thank you very much. And we are going to be starting with the Punch newspaper this morning. And above the masthead, we have manufacturing import bill widens 14 trillion trade deficit. And the lead story there says emergency rule uncertainty in rivers as Fubara delays return. Governor in Abuja may resume today, says his aide, as assembly members resume. Wike denies plot to impose appointees on governor. And also we leave that and go to the Guardian newspaper this morning. And on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, we have brain drain, exhausted doctors, long wait times, test public hospitals care capacity. And above the masthead, we have investors avoid places where politicians control judiciary, says Jonathan. Bank of Industry secures adaptation funds mandate to drive Nigeria's climate action. We also have National Assembly withdraws contract circulars as 23.9 trillion capital budget rolls into 2026. Below that, we have suspense and disillusion as Fubara fails to show up after emergency rules ends. UBA divert 335 billion PAT and 1.6 trillion gross earning. Now it's talking about the profit after tax and 1.6 trillion gross earnings. We also have Osun PDP wants suspicious letter on local government funds case probed. And that's the much that we can take on the lead story with me this morning. We move back to Princess.
All right, thank you very much, Bulu. Let's go to Vanguard newspaper, and on page 8 we have government ends passport production at multiple centers after 62 years. And on page 19 we have marketers want us to increase pump price by 75 naira. Dangote have this to say. And the major story here says Rivers Assembly resumes sitting, Fubara fails to show up. You'll find this big story on page 5. And that is all we'll be taking on the newspaper this morning. Viewers, don't forget to call in using the number on your screen to send your support, your contributions to all our social media platforms. Let's start with Rivers. There's been a long-term rift from Rivers, and I know we have the right hand in the studio, knowing fully well that he's coming from, he's an indigene of Rivers, and everyone there that is facing this has to do with him himself. He has the international intergovernmental affairs personality. So we want to hear your view on what you think is going on with the President Tinubu, who ends emergency rule in Rivers State. He reinstates Governor Fubara and others.
Well, largely it is a very beautiful development that the emergency rule instituted by the president by using his presidential powers has come to an end. And of course, scripturally speaking, biblically speaking, Quranically speaking, there is a time and a season for everything under the sun, under the earth. The emergency rule period was an absolute necessity, frankly, to help calm down the whole turbulency that rocked Rivers State as a state politically. And so we have come out of it. That's my take. It has come and it has gone. And we are looking forward to a more stable, more robust and prosperous River State.
That is a good thing to say.
Yes.
There is a comment making round. It says, all is not well with River State yet. I pity Governor Fubara. I wonder how he will be running the affairs of the state from this captivity. And I want to follow up with this question. Uncertainty in Rivers as Fubara delays return. What is your thoughts on this?
Let me say this categorically. We all know, like you had mentioned, I am a bona fide son of the soil. Fubara is a brother, is a friend. When he took office, my classmates, my alma mater, visited him because we have a whole lot in common. And Yesowike is my grandfather, my uncle. That's our house. That is his house.
Wow.
So we have really, really come a long way, and we have certain knowledge of what has been going on, political upheavals and wranglings in Rivers State. So I can tell you again that from the point A, that the emergency rule was imposed, and to the point B today where it has been disposed. Fubara is a very smart guy, and Yesowike is also a very smart person. Now, we know, if anybody wants to hear or get to understand a little of the secret, Yesowike and Fubara would not want this war to be an endless war. I'm giving you a direct information and hint on it. And now, somewhere, somehow, they have spoken. There have been underground interventions where Yesowike's conscience has been appealed to, and Fubara has also been spoken to, and they've come to a level of understanding and arrangement and agreement. So Fubara still remains the executive governor of Rivers State. With the news going around that he's caged, he's trapped. No, that's not it. The young man, like I told you, is a very smart person. And if he has been able to navigate the affairs of the state to the point where he is, well, he will resume. And when he resumes, the affairs of the state will continue to run. That's it. So whether he is contesting again or he's not contesting again, somewhere, somehow, I think at the uppermost part of his mindset right now is to finish this tenure, and then come up with a clean slate, and then allow the people to decide whether he is running or not running. That is Fubara. I can tell you that is Fubara.
Bolu, you have something to say, right?
We need to look at this. In democracy, we have different arms of government that forms or mix up democracy.
Yes.
Now we are simply looking at the executive arm of government.
Yes.
What about if we look at the legislature? Now we understand that before now, one of the things that actually caused the rift was the impeachment of the speaker, the installation of another speaker, and what have you. Now that they've come to terms with the political reality on ground, would you say this is a state captured democratically? Would you say that is what has happened in Rivers State, given the fact that both of them being in PDP but different? They are said, according to the report that we have, to now belong to different factions of PDP in the same Rivers State, and we understand that the speaker that the sitting governor wants is now actually the current chief of staff to the governor. What do you make of this? Is it a state capture or just the normal politicking by politicians?
Okay, for the benefit of those who already know and those who are watching and listening and who want to know, let's state the records straight.
Okay.
I have a cousin. My first cousin is also a member of the house.
Okay.
And somewhere, somehow, as a family discussion, we get to hear a whole lot going on. Now, the problem was beyond what people were seeing and saying. What was projected was more of power tussle at the house.
Yes.
But we, like I'm talking from this privileged point of view, that there was beyond the issue of the house tussle.
So it was beyond the power tussle in the house.
It was not just this surface thing all about power tussle.
Was it about who controls the most number of the legislators in the state house?
No,
assembly?
that's not it even, because if you look at it from the onset, there was a structure already, and take it or leave it. Nyesom Wike was the governor who had built up a group of persons politically.
Yes.
And before his time, of course, our great-grandfather Peter Odili.
Celestine Omea, Rotimi Amicha. Yes.
So it's and one thing you should take note of is that this same River State we are talking about, by the time you lift me and begin to shake me, a cousin of mine from Rumigbo will stand up to say, "Stop it! He's my brother." The same thing. So if you lift, like you lifted Fubara to start shaking him, the Ijaw guys will say, "You dare not do that. He's our brother." The same thing, as long as Riverine and Upline is concerned in River State.
Yeah.
So, and the house, after the entire elections, was duly constituted, and they came on board. So, yes, expectedly, the issue of power tussle will come to play, personal interests will come to play, and that's politics for you. But how you now manage to navigate this whole terrain becomes a different ballgame entirely. So, as we speak, we are still back to the point that Nyesom Wike at a point had the privilege of bringing in SIM into the system. If you nobody can deny that. SIM is not denying that. No Rivers indigene is denying that. And with what had played out, the same persons today, like I said, father and son, have reconciled. So anybody who is saying there is still problem in Rivers State is frankly hallucinating.
Okay.
I feel the day SIM wants to resume, I've told you, he's a very smart guy. He will resume.
Okay.
The house is actually, as it stands right now, okay, there has been this mediation going on the ground.
Okay.
And the pivotal personality of Nyesom Wike has come to bear. Every of the followers in the House, every of the loyalists who felt they one way or the other owe him an allegiance, hears him. So if he says, hey, guys, sheath your swords, there is none of them that is mad that will wake up to say, no, Yedike, we are not agreeing, we will continue to fight. Nobody will do that. That's the Rivers politics for you.
All right.
So with all that settled, I am sure that they are dotting their I's and crossing their T's, particularly Fubara before he resumes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Abulu, you hold your thought. Let me just address this so that we'll move faster because of time. And also, viewers, you are aware that for the past few weeks and months, it's been so much political tussle and turbulence in Rivers State. Kindly send us your comments. Your thoughts are very valuable. We want to hear your opinion on what is happening in Rivers State. All right. We have that now. No law compels Fubara to resume immediately. Wiki.
Yes.
And also, we are not doing again. River, excuse me.
All right, thank you very much. Talking about this whole Rivers issue, when Wiki says that no law compels Fubara to resume immediately, one would wonder what he meant by that statement. Is it that there are still some kind of background arrangement that still needs to be completed, like you said earlier, that they are still crossing their T's and still dotting their I's? Did you think it's just a normal statement or is it a political statement?
Politicians are very smart people.
Okay.
Maybe if I'm talking from the clerical point of view right now, I will tell you that there are very few politicians you should vouch for. And they are known for making, statements.
Political statements.
Statements.
Okay.
However you want to identify or classify such statements. Yes, if you are to analyze Wike's statement, there is really no law as per, say, River State edicts, River State laws that compels the governor to resume as at 8 times T point A minute B. No, there is no such thing. As long as the governor is hale, hearty, and healthy, the office is his office. And wherever he even runs the office from, severally, if you remember, he can choose to rule from Abuja. It is his office.
There's no law that prohibits.
He can choose to be in Port Harcourt, where he's in touch with the people. It is his office. So Wike's statement, for me, is very unambiguous. It's straightforward. For those who are clamoring on the date of resumption or resume, we will do this, we will not do that, Fubara is not compelled by any law, at any moment or any season to say, this is when you must resume. He, as the governor, has in mind that he has a tenure. So within his power, he would.
Yes, sir. Please, just kindly hold your thoughts, sir. I would love to chip in this. We have what we have that happened in Rivers State that is bringing about this current peace and reconciliatory moves that we are seeing. Something similar happened in the build-up to the 2019 general election in Lagos State, where you have the then former governor of the state, Governor Akinwumi Ambode, who was at loggerheads with the then national leader of the APC, now president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it was a matter of, okay, take your time. You have the floor and all of those things. And when it's time for a primary election for you to get your return tickets, then we would wait for you. What do you think is the critical, how will I put it now? The critical issue why such thing wasn't permitted in Rivers or wasn't allowed to play out in Rivers? Is it because of the different personalities or the different terrain where this political back and forth happened?
Okay, to be frank and to respond to your question or thoughts directly, The scenario in Rivers State, frankly, is not the same scenario that played out in Lagos.
Okay.
No, don't mismate them. They are not the same. I've told you sitting here that I am talking from a deeper point of knowledge of what originally transpired in the alphabetical order. We count A before B. Now there was an A before the B's in the whole hulabaloo called River State politics and what has played out. The president that you referred to, Ambode and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is our president today, was more of direct power tussle that saw them challenge each other. Bola is saying, I'm here. Ambode is saying, I'm here. Yes, okay, that played out. But to the point where, or what the discussion we are having, River State's issue became a different issue because, like I said, Bola, Yesum and Sim are more of a father and son kind of relationship.
Okay.
And all the mediations had centered on that. Remember, you people are one. Ate in the same plate, drank the same from the same cup, all that and all that. And do not also forget, a whole lot of religious leadership also intervened, particularly the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion that both of them belong to.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I'm talking from a very serious point of knowledge and point of view, dude. Even if we are not to divulge everything that we know. So Sim and Wike and all the Sim boys and all the Wike boys are still all bona fide River State indigenous in their different capacity and perspectives. So whatever that will make Rivers move forward. And then realize, let me also tell you that there's an uncle of mine who used the word to both of them. He said, where would this fight lead us and when will it end? So both of them only used their tongues to count their teeth. And life is as short as it is. Nobody knows what will happen today, tomorrow. Nobody has the monopoly of life. So when you put such beautiful moral values into consideration, what do you want to continue to quarrel for? What do you want to continue to fight for? What do you want to continue to drag for? You know, and leadership's being as sacrosanct, leadership positions being as sacrosanct as they are. You are there today, you are not there tomorrow. So that is, frankly, what is playing out in River State. And then to put to rest the Ambode's issue, remember that Ambode at a point said, I no do again. I don't want this problem. And that was it.
All right, thank you very much.
So
Please, before we go into other stories, I want to read this comment, which is, if I were Mr. Fubara, let's take this comment. If I were Mr. Fubara, I will never return to that seat. Mr. Tinubu and Mr. Wiki should continue their militarization in River State. And somebody replied, whose loss? Is it you or Fubara and his family? Be there and be giving full leash advice up and down. If Fubara is not doing, won't another River State son occupy the seat? That is just in line with what you said earlier.
But Fubara is not that.
To round up with Fubara issue, I want you to please talk to us about what these uncertainties has caused the good people of River State.
Oh, yes. Frankly speaking again, there is this English saying that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers more. And it is also an extensive statement where you find two persons quarrel, you just frankly waste your time. You lose temporary focus of dynamic achievements that should have been gotten. You're wasting time quarreling, bickering, killing yourselves. A lot of lives were also lost that cannot be reversed. But again, the meaning that what are we taking home as a lesson from this whole upheavals? Whenever we misdirect our attention on more like majoring the minor and minor in the major, in whichever you lose valuable time, you lose valuable resources, you lose humans unnecessarily. We believe that Rivers State's political speed had been slowed down by this whole agree and agree kind of thing. So it has cost us it has cost us so much. But we are believing that the leadership should put their acts in order and speedily continue. The person who is saying that Fubara should not
come back to the
seat was not there when Fubara campaigned as a governor. So when some people turn out to want to chunk out their advices, they need to sit down, think about it again. The Fubara you're talking about was a guy who went through the process, became a governor, elected governor. Then issues began, and then he was deposed by the presidential emergency rule. The same presidential emergency rule, after time, reinstates him. Then you wake up and say, no, he shouldn't go back to resume. What?
Okay, thank you very much. That is laughable, actually. All right, we'll be moving to security and economic issues right away. And we have bandits kingpin meets government officials in Katsina, free 28 captives after peace deal. And to add to that, Tinubu government claims it has disbursed over 300 billion to poor Nigerians through safety nets. Is this a new dawn, or what is your take on this?
Okay, the matter is serious.
It is.
And in being careful to deposit some statements, the issue of banditry has been a leech, has been a thorn in the flesh of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, both as a nation, as a people, north, east, west, and south, from the moment it began. Those who introduced it for a reason. And if you want to now, like we all know, domicile it, since it's happening in the up north, I can stay here and categorically tell you, frankly, that they are aware of what they are doing with the issue of banditry. Don't forget, it turned to a trending, laughable saying when our former president's wife, Dame Patience, said, this blood you people are sharing, there is God, though.
There is God, though.
There is God, though. Before she came to that point, the intelligence report had reached her of the underground orchestrations of these people. So, rolling from that point to today, where you have the newspaper dailies saying that the leader of the bandit is the one negotiating peace deal with government. So the government knows this leader. The leader knows the government. And unfortunately, it is the people that are still at the receiving end. The people are the ones suffering, the kidnapped, the displaced, the homeless. So, well, if that is the trend, we all know, And we are looking, we are all watching, we are seeing how it will play out. And then don't forget, our former president, Baba Obasanjo, said at a point, it has a beginning. We will see it come to an end.
Amen.
You know, so.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, I just just in 60 seconds, talking about the government claiming to have disbursed over 300 billion to poor Nigerians through safety nets. In 60 seconds, what's your thought on that? Do you think Nigerians are feeling it, or probably they should have channeled it to other things in the in the country that would have eased or alleviated the pains of Nigerians?
No, listen again, bro. The APC we know as a political party, this is not a new trend. If you remember, don't forget too easily, our former vice president, professor himself of law, Yemi Osibanjo, was the one they gave money to go and be sharing in the market. So it appears with there is a trend with them to share the money, give it a name. So if they have given a humongous figure and mentioned an amount that they shared, well, who is there to question what they shared and who they shared it to? Again, yes, we have heard they say they shared, but the question is, in proper measurement and evaluation in our economy, what has your sharing and the amount you said you shared, how has it affected our people? Is the food commodities, the price of food commodities down? Are we talking of petroleum commodities, the price, are they down? So if you look at these indices, then the leadership knows.
All right.
So tell us you have shared 100 billion in Naira. Nobody will argue with you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So let me believe, peradventure, they shared the 300 billion, but because of the number of population that we have in Nigeria, we've not really felt it. But let's hope
that'll be frankly speaking, that'll be very myopic to come to that conclusion. Nigeria we have a data system.
Sure.
Certainly.
We're such an egalitarian nation. So don't just take this for granted. Whether you want to share 300 billion, the last census we are looking at,
2006,
put us at 250 million persons. 250 million persons. I beg you, if you bring 300 billion and let's say in the next 3 years line up 250 million people, look at the ratio of how many naira will be put in the hands of individuals. We're not talking of dead people, we're not talking of. So the word is political. It can be taken as one of those statements.
All right, sir. While we leave that, we leave the social net, and I want us to talk, to come back. We talked about the legislative arm of government the other time, and I want us to touch on don't block Natasha's resumption that this is coming from the Nigerian Bar Association, telling the Nigerian Senate. This back and forth, don't you think it's right that we bury the hatchet and just move on with our national life?
Fortunately, by privilege, the very day Natasha was, the court pronounced her the winner. She's my friend on Facebook. I sent her an advice, and I said to her, watch your back. Be careful. You've gone through much what we call the valley of the shadow of death, and here you are. And she thanked me. She responded. She said, "Thank you very much, man of God." And then the next thing I see, a rule of events in the National Assembly. I was going to think that if Natasha had a level of very good advisors, certain of these things are unnecessary. What relationship between she and the Senate president wouldn't be there. Now, take it or leave it. The fight against the Senate president is a fight against the Senate leadership.
As an institution.
Yes, you cannot isolate the Senate president from the office he is occupying. And it aggravated a whole lot of companions and colleagues in the same Senate. So I feel Natasha should rather retrace her steps. There is no problem that is not solvable. I like a wise man who told me, my bishop, by the way, the Right Reverend Dr. Duke Timothy Akamisiko, he gave me an advice 10 years ago. He said, do not give permanent solutions to temporary problems. Learn not to give permanent solutions to temporary problems. Vice versa. Meaning that for every problem, if you sit back and retrace, withdraw, or pause when you ought to, the inflammations will not be there. Natasha's issue has become such a trending issue that I think the young woman should apply wisdom. When you use the word "I'm sorry," even Satan, the devil himself, tends to calm down. Are you following? So, bar association, it could give people courts. Each of these entities are bona fide in their own rights. But I think that Natasha, who is wearing the shoes, knows where it is pinching her.
Very good.
If Natasha would take a humble advice again, if anybody wants to advise her, I believe that there are other ways to go about Natasha enjoying her senatorial election as a senator. But with the way it is going, an outright confrontation against the leadership, is this Akpabio is still the leader of the Senate, and you want to stay under the Akpabio and fight Akpabio in his own Senate?
Okay, I want to take that from another angle.
Yes.
Personally, if I want to speak, I will speak from the perspective of a lady because Natasha is one.
Mm-hmm.
But then I want you to give us your clarity and constitutional insight on what you think young persons should learn from this, the lesson that should be learned.
Again, morality is a value that if you throw aside, you may hit the rock.
Very good.
Every young person, life has a precedent. We didn't set it because no human being created himself or herself.
Absolutely.
Institutions come, institutions go. As growing young persons, what is not good is not good.
Good.
As simple as that. Natasha, from the female perspective,
Yes.
a mother, a sister, like I told you, I said she's my friend. I remember that having gotten the good news of her court judgment and pronouncement, I sent her a congratulatory message. I told her one or two things. Take it easy. Watch your back. Calm down. And that was it. So from the feminine perspective or from being a lady, she also should borrow herself sense. Let me use our Niger Delta kind of deposition and language to know that, yes, she is not the first senator from Kogi State. Neither will she be the last. She is not the first female senator from Kogi State. Neither will she be the last. And I want to believe that if with the right perspective, she can navigate her way, finish her senatorial tenure, and live in peace. Don't forget again, let me try and end it quickly. This whole thing we are talking about, you are there today, you are not there tomorrow. Immediately you are not there, you are forgotten. That's the Nigerian trend. So somebody who has sense should understand that it's not about the moment. Maybe you want to enjoy the moment, and after, there are a lot of ministers.
Okay, let me put it to you from the male perspective. Now, do you think the Senate president is right with the way he's doing? Because your focus has been on Natasha. Can you kindly give us your opinion? What you think the Senate president should do differently?
Okay, I am being watched by millions of Nigerians, including those I hold very dear.
Very well.
So what I deposit here is what they will use to analyze me.
Of course.
If you come in the perspective of right and wrong, I beg you, you count A before B. Natasha and Akpabio had no issues. They didn't have quarrels before Natasha came to the Senate. Please,
Yes.
let's draw that line clear.
Yes.
They were not dragging anything.
At all.
In fact, they were more of
Family.
friends with their own personal interests running until Natasha became a senator. Akpabio was even already a senator, a sitting senator, leading the National Assembly. Are you understanding? So when you ask me whether Akpabio is right or wrong in whatever he's doing, can I also frankly say I am not defending Akpabio. Hear me again. I am not an Akpabio's fan. Akpabio can't even. I am a clergy. I'm a priest. So Akpabio, in his right, has his right as a politician. I have my rights as a clerical person. But in putting the truth into perspective, I'm saying the decision is not only Akpabio's decision. What is going on in the Senate now? Please don't forget, there is deputy Senate leader, there is deputy Senate leader, there are ranks and hierarchies in the Senate. So Akpabio alone cannot just also wake up and influence whatever that is happening.
But from everything that is being said so far,
Yes.
Akpabio issue with Senator Natasha is a personal issue. Do you think it should affect what is going on in the Senate?
The issue, trying to make it a personal issue, is the wrong aspect of the picture that
Or
is
it is
painted.
personal?
Hold on, I told you from beginning, Akpabio and Natasha had nothing. They were dragging
Family friends from the
until Natasha became a senator.
from the dragon.
So will you be?
So Natasha
will
is trying to tell us that there is something going on beyond
if she
what
comes
we know
out
or
to
what
say
we are
so.
assuming.
No. I think let's take it this way now. When we look at the whole issue,
Yes.
there are private lives, there are legislative
Yes,
views.
that is what I want
Public
to
life and
I want us to
private
talk
Now,
about.
so when Natasha comes out to say, "Oh, the matter that she is having with the Senate president is a private matter,"
personal issue.
now she is saying it shouldn't affect the legislative
Yes,
duty.
yes.
While Senator Godswill Akpabio, as the Senate president, is saying that in the course of her discharge of her legislative duty, that she has erred and gone against some of the Senate standing rules. Now, so these are things that we
Avoiding the main point.
so the thing is this: do you
Hello,
think
men
both?
in the house. This
wait.
very point you made now is tactically avoiding Senate
Now,
Senate
so-
president is avoiding the main
So,
issue
Kano, sir,
by
do you think-
projecting by projecting Natasha as being rude in the Senate House. But the major point Natasha has brought forth has not been addressed.
Okay, I'm trying to direct the question to Kano now.
Please direct it.
So do you think both of them are mixing their private life and legislative duties up in the Senate?
It's not supposed to be.
Okay, I have said here, you cannot distinct the Senate president's office from the person
Senate, yeah.
occupying the office. I've also said here, please, before Natasha became a senator, there was a private life going on. Natasha had private life. Akpabio had a private life. And if you are to juxtapose, they were not quarreling over anything. There was no contention over anything until Natasha came to the Senate as a senator
So now,
to meet Akpabio, a serving Senate president. If Akpabio, back credence to Natasha, who has said my problem with Akpabio is personal. Okay. So that we don't beat about the bush. It makes it even simpler to solve. If you bring me in as a mediator, the first thing I will be advising Natasha is, sweet Siso, since it is personal, can we take it off from the eyes of the public? Let's do an underground personal mediation.
I think that is the role of the Senate President.
No. Listen. Please, sweetheart, don't be too quick to jump into this conclusion.
I am not jumping.
Age-wise,
Yes.
Akpabio is Natasha's senior.
Which makes him the right person to take the standing decision to save everybody.
Just listen again. Okay. Listen again.
I'm listening.
In every home that we are privileged to come from, when the senior and the junior are having quarrels or wranglings, there is what is expected to play: humility. If not for anything, morality bestows on the junior, no matter how right you are in your eyes, to exhibit a level of humility. I'm advising it can be taken
For the
or
sake
leaving.
of peace.
For the overall, the larger picture called peace of mind, progress, harmony. Are you following? So I want to believe that it is only when you insist it's my right, it's my left, I am right, I am not wrong, and this other person is saying, well, okay, when you finish proving you're right and wrong, you will still come and meet me here.
Because
That's
apparently
what's going on.
That's what is happening
So
now.
I want to believe that Natasha has the card on her hands. You see, this same thing, and I'm talking this on national TV. If Natasha tomorrow leaves all the protocol and camera and hula baloo, walks to Akpabio, goes to Akpabio's wife, even as a woman, to say, Mama, this word, I'm sorry. Satan doesn't understand it. I am telling you, this whole thing we just fizzle. We have had cases and seen cases in Nigeria.
So yes, sir. Are you preferring backdoor negotiation to be able to sort
even
this?
in law?
Yeah,
even
yeah.
in law,
Yes.
Out
when
of court
matters are
settlement.
even it can be at the Supreme Court level.
Okay.
Yet there is this aspect of
A provision.
out of
court settlement.
settlement.
So is that what you are preferring?
What I'm looking at is the public sphere has aggravated the issues. If you want this to be a settlement between
The two
Akpabio
parties.
and Natasha, Natasha is a happily, legally, respectably married woman. By the institution of marriage, she is sacrosanct. Akpabio is a man on his own caliber. Are you understanding? Akpabio listens to Archbishop Odutemi had the privilege of preaching in Baba Edwin Clark's burial. He used certain words both on Akpabio and on George Akume. That video is in our circle. We see it every now and then.
Yes, sir.
Meaning that Akpabio has a listening ear to those he listens to. And if Natasha at her level, with all the affluence and influence, senatorial senator, would not know who and who to meet if she wants to solve a problem privately.
All
then
right,
there
if
is
we
a
continue
problem.
like this, we will not end the story. Let's move away from Natasha and go back to education sector. And on this big story here, we have Nigerian government restores history as compulsory subject in primary, secondary schools. I think this is a very good one because personally, I was very, very disturbed when I learned that history was no longer in vogue for us in the secondary and primary school setting. I want to hear your opinion on this.
As beautiful as that sounds, a people who do not have a history would not have a future.
Excellent.
There is no nation today on this planet Earth that tends to abrogate their history that knows where they are going to. So whomever brought that idea didn't mean well. It was myopic, it was selfish, it was destructive. whatever adjective you want to use to qualify it. I did history. A whole lot of the people in leadership position today by privilege did history. Then somebody wakes up to say, because I have the privilege of being in the educational sector, let's remove history. No matter how sour or bad the history is, in fact, the leading of history is to guide from the past mistakes. That's the study of history. Deposit records, deposit knowledge. So for whatever reason that somebody woke up to say no more history, our history is bad, our history is sour, let's not remember the history. Well, okay. Meaning that you were only leaving potholes for future generations to jump in and jump out, make their mistakes, and when you could have given them a beautiful, clean road to walk on and to arrive at their destinations faster.
All right, thank you very much. I think we need to put something very clear now. History was initially removed under the administration of the then President Olusegun Obasanjo by the then Honorable Minister for Education, Madam Obi Ezekwesili. And we really don't have an idea of why it was removed, but some persons are alluding it to some sort of remarks that were made by the then regional leaders of the country pre-independence, the likes of Ahmadu Bello, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, and the likes of them. And it was said that by removing such, that it would help to erase the bad deeds of the past. Do you really think that was really that need was cogent enough? That reason was solid enough for them to have removed it? And given the fact that the tribal demography that we now have in Nigeria and division that we have currently, don't you think if history was part of the subject that we're being taught, we would probably not be in this pitch? Today, given the I will just end it with this word: no tribes and tongues may differ. In brotherhood we stand. Your thought on that, sir?
Very well. Again, I have deposited, no matter how painful the bitterness of history would be, the entire essence of historical studies or history is to preserve long past legacies, preserve dynasties by informing the future generation of what transpired behind. That is history. This era she woke up to say, there were divisive, destructive words used by leaders, and we don't want to remember those pain again. Unfortunately, was a myopic idea. In medicine, a father or a mother or a parent will allow a child to undergo a painful surgery, no matter how painful that surgery is, with one mindset: to repair the problem, to give back life and health to the person that is going through the surgery. History is like that. It could be a very painful surgery, but when we remember historically that XY used such words in their time, should we also now allow such words to be used again? Like somebody woke up one day and said all Igbos should pack away from Nigeria in the 1st October. Somebody said it on national TV. Are you understanding? And why then do we have national security apparatus and the rest? So it's a welcome development that history has been brought back. More work to be done though, because in the same historical curriculum, they will now need to know what to teach and what not to teach.
All right. In 30 seconds, give us your last word. Advise the nation on 2027 election.
By the grace of God, by special grace, I have experienced, if not for anything, conscious 40 decades of electoral practices in the nation.
Awesome.
When politicians wake up and allow greed, allow satanism to lead them, they tend to mess it up. So I want to advise 2027 election is at hand. Let us conduct ourselves knowing that life is sacrosanct.
All right, thank you very much for
much.
that, Bolu. Your last word in advice in just few seconds.
All right, thank you very much. I think just to put this out there, for history, people who don't know where they are coming from, we most likely don't know where they are heading to. So we need to study history, regardless of how painful, regardless of how bad some of these things might have been. We can actually learn from it and use it to weave the new kind of national unity and cohesion that we want in Nigeria. Like they say, though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we
All
stand.
right, thank you very much, Bolu. Thank you so much. My profound thanks to our special guest here with me for sharing his wealth of knowledge on today's program. And thank you so much, our amazing viewers, for staying with us. Without you, we can't do this. Let's remember that leadership is not about titles, positions, or flow charts. It is about one life influencing another. John C. Maxwell. We have come to the end of today's non-streaming program on ACNN TV. Till we come your way again with another beautiful story. Same station and same time next week. Remain blessed. I remain Princess Clement. Bye for now.